turnovers for 18 points here in the first half. And here's one of the turnovers. The Birdman just pulls the chair on David West, which results in the turnover in the fast break where Chris Bosch, who had really been struggling until these last two shots, knocks down the long three-pointer. And that's got to feel good to a guy who's really struggled all series with the size of Roy Hibbert to finally get to see the basketball go through the hoop the last two possessions.
We talk about the playoffs being a possession game. Miami is +8 on turnovers. That's been their edge in the series. Indiana has dominated the glass. That's where they get their extra possessions. It's 16 all in this game. So if Indiana is going to turn it over, they at least have to balance it out by dominating on the backcourt.
Miami with an 11-2 run. Wide open shot for Hill and knocks down the three. And that 11-2 run coincides with Hibbert and George sitting down.
It's a bad rotation from Dwayne Wade. He left George Hill to guard Stevenson. You have to know on the perimeter when you're scrambling and rotating which player to leave open. Stevenson not nearly the three-point shooter that George Hill is.
Bosch off the fake. They swing it. Here's Cole. Bosch. 24-second violation.
Well, there was two guys that had 50 shots. Ray Allen and Norris Cole turned them down. And look at George Hill in the hall here for the Indiana Pacers, trying to motivate his team here in Game 7.
13 turnovers committed by Indiana. That's their high for a first half. And this season's playoffs, 7-point lead for Miami. Just under 5 remaining in the half. Hill for three. And it carries over the backboard. And the ball back to Miami.
And we talk about all those turnovers and the fact that Miami is competing on the glass and holding their own. That's the difference in this game. Miami's only shooting 40%, but they've taken 37 shots to Indiana's 24. I mean, 13 more attempts from the field. You can't win that way into the Pacers.
They came out firing away, in particular, Bosch and Wade, with the Heat trying to get the two guys going. Here's Wade. Wade with the rebound. Wade backs his way. Nice pass for Kane. Beautiful down.
Yeah, but you're Paul George. You can't fall asleep when you go to the best player on the planet. You got caught ball watching on Dwayne Wade.
They double up on West. Travelers from David West.
The Heat's post defense has been so much better. There was that play a moment ago, and you mentioned George losing vision. A brilliant pass from Wade. But the key to this game, in my mind, the Miami defense. Yes, Wade and Bosch have been aggressive and attacking, but it's the post defense of the Heat that has changed this game. More doubling, more attacking, causing a lot of those mistakes for Indiana.
I think we've seen more doubling in this first half than any entire game of the series on the part of Miami.
And now Paul George picks up his second foul trying to guard LeBron James in the post. But if you're Frank Vogel and you have the Heat shooting 41%, but you've turned the basketball over 14 times in this first half. I mean, that's 28 for the game as it stands.
Chalmers for three. Kick ball. Allen trying to break up the pass. So Indiana maintains possession with 18 on the shot clock. As it turns out, Miami has scored on only 4 of Indiana's 14 turnovers, but it's just the act of the turnover that gives it a sloppy feel to the Pacers. Hibbert, double, he's able to hold on to the ball. West Cliff, the pocket, and he's fouled. Hibbert showing his strength as Wade tried to knock it out of his hand.
Pretty good execution there from Indiana, even though it almost resulted in a turnover. You know, one of the things that the Pacers have done in this series, they've used a little bit of triangle action, and that's Brian Shaw's influence. Of course, Shaw having played for Phil Jackson and coached with him for years, they've used something called the center opposite, which was something the Bulls used to run for Michael Jordan, Lakers used to run for Shaq. They've tried different elements of the triangle to try to free themselves up.
Here's Allen.
Wow, grabe.
From downtown. Miami by 10. Again, they double up. George able to maintain control.
Transition defense terrible for the Indiana Pacers.
Hibbert. And they're looking for a charging foul. Hill way off. Toss on it. Here comes James. Puts the speed on. And draws the foul. That's going to be knocked down.
And I think they're going to give that to Roy Hibbert, bumping LeBron James as he's going to the hoop.
Here's Hibbert. That's his second. Timeout is called by Miami. Just under 3 to go. In this first half, it appears the big three is back in action.